Okay, we are up to quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are another type of polygon. In your notes, we wrote about polygons yesterday, but we're going to talk about polygons again today because a quadrilateral is a polygon. So we have our I can statement of I can identify quadrilaterals. A polygon is a closed plane figure. Quadrilaterals are going to be a polygon with 4 sides. Yesterday I talked about the word quad means 4. So we have lots of different polygons. As long as it has 4 sides, it is a quadrilateral. All of these are quadrilaterals because they have 4 sides. We have one of these tables right here in our room. I call it the trapezoid table because it's shaped like a trapezoid. We're going to talk about all of these different shapes individually, but as far as quadrilaterals go, a lot of them can be considered lots of different types of quadrilaterals. So you're going to need this paper. It's in the middle of the table. Go ahead and grab that paper, get your name on the top of it. As we go along, you're going to fill in on that paper. We're going to be asking the questions. Only one pair of parallel sides. Both are parallel sides. There's 4 right angles, or there's 4 equal sides. So for each one, we're going to put a check if they have each one of these. Remember, parallel means lines that run one direction and never ever touch. We have these lines that will all run parallel to each other, but on our paper we have sets of parallel lines. These lines are all parallel, and then these lines are parallel, and these lines intersect each other at a 90-degree angle, which makes them perpendicular. So our paper even lends to what we've been talking about so far in class. Make sure you have this paper and get ready for the quadrilateral experience. We're going to start with parallelograms. It's just a fun word to say, a parallelogram. Go ahead and say that. Parallelogram. I should hear you saying parallelogram. It has the word parallel right in the title, parallel. It means that the shape has 2 sets of parallel sides. So in our first shape here, here's one set of parallel sides. Those will go forever and ever and never touch. And then we have the second set of parallel sides that will go forever and ever and never touch. The sides don't have to be slanted like this, but traditional parallelograms are going to look like this first one. Here I have the sides slanting a different way. Here's 2 sets of parallel sides. Here's a set of parallel sides. This shape that's down here might look familiar. This is a rectangle, but a rectangle has 2 sets of parallel sides. So all rectangles are parallelograms. But, like you see on this one, it is not a rectangle. So all parallelograms are not rectangles, but all rectangles are. Here we have a square, and the square has 2 sets of parallel sides, one on there and one there, so it is also a parallelogram. Okay, our first one that we're going to mark here, a parallelogram. The first thing says only one pair of sides of parallel sides. Well, a parallelogram has both sides both sets of sides are parallel. Parallelograms will not always have 4 right angles, and they don't have to have 4 equal sides. So the only one we get to mark in this one is both pairs of sides are parallel. Our next shape is the trapezoid. Just like I said, that table that we have, I call it a trapezoid table because it's shaped like a trapezoid. So here with a trapezoid, we have these 2 lines, top and bottom, that are going to be parallel. Notice on the side here, these lines are whatever direction they need to go. They are not going to be parallel because if I took this all the way out, these lines would eventually cross, which makes them not parallel. This one, we have the top and the bottom are parallel, but these two lines on the side to make it a quadrilateral are obviously going to cross somewhere. So this is called a trapezoid. Alright, so for the trapezoid, we can say it only has one pair of parallel sides. We're not going to mark both pairs because that's in a parallelogram. It will not have 4 right angles, and the sides don't have to be equal length. So the only X that we're making is in that first column. Next, let's talk about the good old rectangle, classic shape. The rectangle has 4 right angles. Even though we don't see the right angle symbol on here, a rectangle is going to have these 4 right angles in each one of its corners, because that's what makes a rectangle. It has to have 4 right angles. But it's also going to have 2 sets of parallel lines. Here's one set. Here's the other set. Here's one set. Here's the other set. And down here at the bottom I have a square. I know it's a square because all the sides are the same. I know that because I drew it. Should have little hash marks here. Squares are also rectangles because they have 2 sets of parallel sides. Alright, so checking our sheet here, we're on our rectangle. Our rectangle has more than one pair of sides that are parallel, so we're going to mark both pairs of sides are parallel. And a rectangle has to have 4 right angles, but it does not have to have 4 equal sides. Here's another fun one. This one's called a rhombus. A rhombus. Go ahead and say rhombus. Alright. A rhombus has, notice these little hash marks here. These hash marks say all of these sides are equal. I bet you've seen something that looks like this one before. This is a square. A square has right angles in it. A rhombus does not have to have right angles. A rhombus just has to have 4 equal sides. So the angles that are in this one are not necessarily right angles. They could be whatever degree measure that I want them to be. So a square can be a rhombus, but a rhombus isn't always a square. Yeah, I know, it gets confusing. That's why we have our chart to go to. Okay, so now we need to mark our information on our chart. Only one pair of parallel sides? No. Both pairs of sides are parallel. We're going to go ahead and mark that because they're both pairs of sides are parallel. It's not going to have 4 right angles, but it will have 4 equal sides. So we need to mark that one. And we got the second classic, a square. Notice it has the little marks on it to show that it has right angles. It will have 4 right angles. And then it has these hash marks to be able to show that all the sides are the same. Squares are going to have 4 right angles, and all the sides are going to be the same. But they will also have 2 sets of parallel sides. Oops, I wanted to change that color. Let's do that. 2 sets of parallel sides. Same thing with this one down here. Here's a set of parallel lines, and here's a set of parallel lines. Okay, the last one to mark on your chart, we have a square. A square has more than one set of parallel lines, so we're going to put an X in this box. And it will definitely have 4 right angles, and all of the sides have to be the same. It gets the most marks in the box. So you'll notice that we have marks in this, both pair of sides are parallel. We have 4 out of the 5 shapes. They have both pairs of sides are parallel. Okay, so we're going to look at the bottom part of your checkoff sheet. Each one of these shapes is showing you, the numbers on the shapes are showing you how long the sides are. So in this top one, we have these 2 sides that are 5, and then these other 2 sides that are 3. So it's showing you that they're not equal sides. But you have 2 sets of parallel lines there. So we can go back and check our chart and see, okay, which one has 2 sets of parallel lines and has 4 right angles. This one is going to be a rectangle. Could it be anything else, though? It could be more than one. Can it be a square? Nope, because all the sides are not the same. Could it be a rhombus? Nope, because all the sides are not the same. Could it be a parallelogram? Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. This could be a parallelogram. Parallelogram. Yep, that's a tough one to spell. Gotta sound it out. Alright, so we finished our our secret word yesterday. I want you to go ahead and finish the bottom of the sheet, and I'm going to look at it when you get to the table. So you have a new secret word that is being spelled out this time. Okay, your first secret letter is P. You got to remember the letters. Alright, after you finish this bottom part here, you can go into Schoology. I will have the assignment on there, and you could start that if you have more time. Happy mathing!